It's great to see the aula full of people looking forward to these 6 weeks. So, Your Excellencies, State Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Research, you students, faculty and staff of the International Summer School, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the University of Oslo and to the International Summer School. The International Summer School is one of the most precious gems in the crown of our university. In the span of a few hectic weeks, you will make an imprint on our campus, on our academic community, and on our city. We are truly grateful for this. We are grateful for the simple reason that the most important part of a university is its student body. So by coming here, you are helping us to build and develop our university, building it into one that is truly international and pluralistic in regard to language, culture, and use. The University of Oslo is Norway's oldest university. It was founded in 1811, 3 years in fact before Norway got its constitution and won national independence after having been in union with Denmark for 400 years. In a historical perspective, the university was a key institution in the nation-building process. The pioneering role of the university was duly marked during the celebration of our 200th anniversary last year, which was an event of national importance. With nearly 28,000 students and close to 7,000 faculty and administrative staff members, the University of Oslo is not only the oldest, but also the largest university in this country. Teaching and research is organized through 8 faculties or schools. In addition, we have 2 museums, 16 interdisciplinary research centers, and 8 centers of excellence devoted to research at a high international level. Currently, this university is responsible for about 50% of all research publications in Norway. As Valdo pointed out, the International Summer School has for 66 years been a key institution in the internationalization efforts of the University of Oslo. Long before internationalization became a prioritized goal, the summer school brought thousands of international students to the university. Through the 66 years the summer school has existed, it has hosted nearly 27,000 students from 150 countries. And this summer, as Vanderbilt pointed out, nearly 600 new students, namely you who are sitting here today, will be added to this number. The university is certainly proud of the International Summer School. In 2009, the summer school was honored with the prestigious prize for Best Learning Environment. This prize is awarded annually by the university board. The positive social interaction between students, faculty, staff, and administration, and a strong focus on multicultural communication were some of the key factors that earned the International Summer School this prize. So we have something to look forward to. Our undergraduate courses focus mostly on Norwegian issues, language, culture, history, and contemporary society. I hope you will learn a lot about Norway, but also a lot about your own society. One of the great benefits of studying abroad is the opportunity it offers for reflecting upon what you are already familiar with. Being introduced to different cultures should lead to a fruitful consideration of what you so easily take for granted in your own culture and background. So what is so special about the International Summer School? Well, it has a program that aims to foster understanding and dialogue among peoples. The confidence and rich building project for students from former Yugoslavia, which is often in collaboration with the Nansen Academy and Lottery, is a particular testimony to this effort. Another example is the project sponsored by the Nobel Peace Prize Forum, through which 13 undergraduates will pursue studies in peace peace and conflict issues. I would also like to highlight the International Summer School's course on human rights. Human rights issues figure prominently in the research portfolio of the University of Oslo. And I'm happy to see that this course is very much in demand. I noticed that the professor who is responsible for the course is inviting the students to her own home in the countryside, so that the students can exchange knowledge and ideas in truly peaceful conditions. One of the most important missions of our university is to educate students that contribute to, as well as benefit from, a pluralistic society. We want to educate global citizens that can enter a global labor market and that can act on a deep felt and informed responsibility for the global community. This mission of ours is highlighted in this very year, which has internationalization as the prime focus area. Through 2012, we will set the stage for a campus that is even more international than the one we see today. Through 2012, we will prepare for an international exchange of students and staff that surpasses present-day level. By coming here, you help us realize our ambitions. Through your stay here, you will help weave the fabric of international academic community. This fabric needs to be sound and strong, shall we be able to meet the number of challenges that our Earth will be facing in the years to come. I will return to this issue near the end of my talk. So coming back to you and your reflections. On traveling to Oslo, and for some of you this travel must have been long and exhausting, you must have reflected on the question, why Oslo? Why go to Oslo, to this remote corner of Europe, for an international summer school? To a place where the weather conditions, as you realize, sometimes make you reflect on the very definition of what the summer is. A good question indeed, but my response is, Oslo is certainly one of the most international cities in the world, much because it is situated outside the main crossroads in Europe. In fact, we have had to compensate for our geographical remoteness. And this we have done, I would say, quite successfully, as history shows. And I will give you some examples. Recounting history, I could have started in the Viking era, about 1,000 years ago. But I will let this opportunity pass, since this era involved events that hardly stand as glorious by today's standards. Suffice it to say that the university owns a unique Viking ship museum at the Bygdøy Peninsula. You are all invited to visit this museum, which boasts ships and objects dating back to the 9th century, and tells us of the internationalization efforts of our ancestors. But rather than dwelling on the distant past, I will start with the very room that welcomes you here today. This is, as Vanebo told you, the aula, the festive hall of the University of Oslo. You will all know that just a few weeks ago, auction history was made when a painting of Edvard Munch called The Scream sold for a record price in New York. The most expensive painting ever. The Scream became the most expensive artwork ever sold at an auction. While Munch's Scream is an artwork of modest size, modesty is not the term to use for the dimensions of Munch's paintings in this festive hall. When you look around you will see 11 paintings of Munch, amounting to a total of more than 220 square meters. So in this sense, we are truly a rich university. Munch's vision was to demonstrate the power and importance of enlightenment and knowledge, with the sun as the central symbol. His paintings transcend time and space and depict, as you see to your right, what the university and what this summer school is all about. To offer the milk of scholarship. This painting, Alma Mater, or Nourishing Mother, is named after Alma Mater Studiorum, the motto, as you know, and the original name of the oldest university in Europe, the University of Bologna. Almost 100 years after these paintings were made, they still stand as a highly relevant backdrop for the opening session of the International Summer School. In Munch's own words, and one who quoted these words, the decorations here are meant to leave a visual expression that is both distinctively Norwegian and universally unique. Munch could hardly foresee how this aula would develop into an arena of international importance, which it is also today. Until 1989, the Nobel Peace Prize was handed out in this very hall. Munch's ideas about the universal union have resonated in many of the acceptance speeches that have been delivered from this scene over the years. One such speech, which was particularly beautiful, was that given by the Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel almost exactly 25 years ago. He said, quote, "The opposite of love is not hate, it is indifference," unquote. This was his message to the world, indifference. A message that carries validity to this very day. Indeed, the same topic stood as a central theme last year when 3 women, 2 from Liberia and 1 from Yemen, gave their acceptance speeches for the 2011 Nobel Peace Prizes. The prizes were awarded for their non-violent struggle for the safety of women and for women's rights to full participation in peace-building work. It was a moving ceremony, but also one that squarely reproached the international community for not caring enough, for not showing enough empathy. Tabako Karman concluded in her speech that the democratic world, which has told us a lot about the virtues of democracy and good governance, should not be indifferent to what is happening in Yemen and Syria, and before that in Tunisia, Egypt and Libya. Unquote. And today we are knowing that so many of you will enter into discussions that really show that you are not indifferent to the severe concerns that we are facing today in many parts of the world. Since 1990, the Nobel Peace Prizes have been handed out in the town hall, where we will convene for the reception later on this evening. Just about a week ago, the town hall won the international media's attention when Aung San Suu Kyi gave her acceptance speech 21 years after she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. It was a truly emotive experience for all of us. Once again, we were reminded of the responsibility of the international community and the need to shy away from indifference. In her own words, quote, "When the Nobel Committee awarded the Peace Prize to me, they were recognizing that the oppressed and the isolated in Burma were also a part of the world. They were recognizing the oneness of humanity," unquote. The oneness of humanity. This is a concept that should guide our efforts on the global scene, and a concept that could easily have qualified as a second slogan for the International Summer School. Recently, Oslo has been in the international news for an entirely different and very tragic reason: the trial of the terrorists that killed 77 people here in Oslo and at Utøya in July last year. This trial closed last Friday after 10 weeks of court proceedings. Discussions have been many and profound. How should we prevent such atrocities to recur? One thing is obvious: we must build a safety net of knowledge and trust across cultural divides. The antidote lies in a tightly knit fabric of international community, the one that you will help build during this summer. I'm certain that you as future leaders will help weave this fabric and help instill respect for the oneness of humanity. I will end this welcome address by quoting one of the students that took part in the International Summer School last year. Abuelam lakalakala, from Lesotho. On the day of departure, she stated the following quote: "The international summer school was an eye-opener to me. It was a turning point in my life, and it was worth it." Unquote. And I tell you, last year was a pretty good summer. I do hope you will share her feeling, and that you will be inspired by the unique teaching and learning environment at the International Summer School. And I trust that your stay will make you open to the possibility of returning to the University of Oslo to pursue a degree, to do research, or to work here. You should know one thing: you're welcome here today, and you're also welcome back.